We did great on that. It's not going to affect the antenna on the 3element. As long as it's not trim. We'll check the SWRs later, but I put it in that thing. I had to do it. So no birds are not going to get in it. So we got the silicone really go. Now we know it's done. How we know it's marked the mark. You guys see that silicone thing right here? It's the stuff you use at the store. See, once I did it like that, I don't know if you guys can see it. Hold on. And that's how you know it. When I scraped it like that, that's how we did it. See where I made that line in the middle? I poked it once. Then the second time I did that to slide it like that, I could reach, it's 12-foot painter pole. That's what it is. So I had to use one 12-foot painter pole to step almost halfway to grab it on my armpit that way. To grab it at least maybe about, it clears 22 feet. It's like 21 feet when it does that. But this is the stuff I'm using. This is the stuff I use in a lot of my other stuff on the roof, like that beam antenna there. It's sealed with water with it a while back. You know the stuff I use this? This will last about 10 years. I don't have to worry about this for 10 years. If we get another cap fall off this thing, we can always grab this thing and do the same thing with the ladder. Each time with these caps that they fall, as long as I don't touch the gamma match system, that's what I'm saying. That's the number one important thing. I don't want to touch the gamma match. It will not affect the caps on the outside of it. If the birds pull them off again, I can reach with this pole and try to get my best bet and do the same thing. This is only like $10 to do it instead those rubber caps. So this doesn't have a rubber cap inside of it. You guys don't want me, I don't want to take this antenna down right now until the rotor wears out. That's when I'll change that, and the coax. That's the only thing I will do when I take this guy down. It shouldn't affect it with the antenna tuner. It's fine because the tuner stays perfect all the time, because the tuner in that room, you guys seen it, it should not affect with a piece of silicone. It's only the Mako E5000 if you put something like this on. Don't put this on a Mako E5000. Not an element beam, because as long as you don't touch the gamma match, you're okay. As long as you don't put it on the gamma match, it's only you put silicone on the outside of it. It's not, it's in that little hole. So everything's good. You guys saw it. And you can't see in this way, but it's actually hanging out a little bit, like a little string. Then I make sure it was all clean. So this silicone is going to be okay for a while. And no wasps will not get in that part of that beam part. You guys see it up there. So I had to do this today. So I had to use the Andy gloves to grab it up there. But I did awesome. So we're ready to go. We're going to check the SWRs a little later. Well, I'm going to let it dry for a while. But I don't care if that thing's hanging. It's okay, guys. It's not going to hurt it. As long as it's on that outer edge, that's what I want to do. I put some silicone in there. I stuck it in there a little bit. It doesn't go in that much, and when you do that, when it sticks that deep in there, and when it does that, it's quite sealed. You guys can see it. No water is going to get into it right now. It'll harden up later, but the water won't get inside it quite a bit, because once that stuff is, we did it, guys. It's better than nothing. It's not going to hurt it at all. And if these caps start falling off, they pull them out. I'll do it each time with silicone when I do this with a putter knife. That's the only way you could do it. You guys don't want me to take this antenna down and do all that stuff. You guys understand. It's not going to fry anything. How long we're not doing about 1,000 watts, it ain't going to affect at 500 watts with one of these. It's just clear silicone. It's the stuff that goes in your walls. This stuff I use is for outdoor stuff, but it's okay. It's better than nothing right now. Because this stuff is advanced silicone. It's from General Electric. You guys know what this is. You guys see it. So we're good. It's going to be okay, guys. I had to do this for several months down the road, and we'll not have to worry about wasps. If another one falls out, I got plenty of this stuff, no problem. And put it back on the putty knife and do it like that. I'm going to leave it like that. Now we don't have to worry about water getting inside of it. And we don't have to worry about wasps will get inside that thing, because we had 3 different wasps. We got a paper wasp, we got those brown wasps they have in Florida, you guys know, like they have in South Carolina, but here we had those yellow jackets, and we have a hornet's nest out back, guys. You can see them right there. And I've seen a hornet before, and they're really huge, and they fly not very long in my yard, and they fly back to that nest back there. But that's in the middle of the woods. So I did it today when the weather's right and everything's good. And we'll do more of this in case these caps will start popping off if they rip them. As long as I don't touch the gamma match caps, I'm okay. That's when I will not put silicone on those. because that will mess up your SWR. As long as you don't put silicone on those gamma matches, these you don't mind, because these caps, I'm not going to drill holes to mess up the system. You understand, it took me a long time to get this thing. It took me a year when I did this. And it took, like, you guys see how long it's at. If these caps start popped by birds, we'll put the silicone in it. Not very much. This stuff's not going to hurt it. It's better than nothing. It'll last about 10 years. By that 10 years, you'll be able to change out your coax, the 213. Then, and probably the rotor. If the rotor breaks down, we could actually put more bearing grease in. I want to be on the air right now. Have fun with this. We don't have to worry about this. That little silver thing is not going to corrode either way. It's not going to, it's galvanized steel. But if you guys want to do this technique, do this, okay? Get some of this stuff for $9 at your local hardware store. I had this several months ago, and I was going to use it for, for other stuff I was using. And I got this for when I was going to do this for the Mako 5000. But I've used this stuff on a lot of stuff with this stuff. Not on my beam antenna, not on that stuff. I have used it on this stuff. It actually will seal it will actually seal from ants getting into it. It kept ants out of my home when I had this. I got to get plenty of stuff, stack up this stuff, and be okay with the beam, as long as you don't put it all over the place, just only one tip, because 27 megahertz doesn't take very much. It takes a few inches to cut off, and I'm not trimming these guys off. As long as we have the antenna tuner on it, it'd be okay, and you can run 200 watts, no problem. And if you run like 500 watts of a, I'm not going to go above 1,000 watts. I'm going to keep them around between where the specs it shows on this beam antenna. So we can run like 300 watts, no problem with this, or 500 watts, it'd be all right. If I ever win one of those amplifiers again, you guys know. So I had to use the Andy gloves today when I carried that pole. But this is a painter pole I had a while back when I was doing that first beam antenna. And when I knocked this off a couple months ago, and this is what happened. So we're okay with that thing. Now we're ready for summer 2025 now. I'm not going to worry about it. If we see another cap fall off, I'll do the same thing with the putty knife and clean it off. I had this putty knife way back then when I was using for that. First, I was making a beam antenna, and I got this other guy's in the tree. I like to get this guy working again. I love to get this thing straightened out, because this one's been up almost 3 years. Because when I first did this, there was a guy who actually helped me out. One of my sisters, it was a friend, like a boyfriend thing for several months, and she dumped him in outside Nashville, Tennessee, over near that area. He helped me put this up. This was one the designer Mower Junkies made. I made one of these from Mower Junkie. I made 2 of them, and one of mine was the messed up version. This one, I made this back in Utah. That one up there in the tree. It's made with a bunch of leaves. I was trying to camouflage this thing in my local area so the HOAs didn't want to see that. That's why I had this. And especially that's what I did. I'll tell you about a story about something, about a CB story I had to tell you. I found out from one of her neighbors, but he was a cool guy. But in Utah, like where I lived in, the first owner of the house had a beam antenna, and they had the HOA to take his beam down. That's what I heard about it. This was back in 2019 when he was they were telling me this was like before 2010, before the 2011s, somewhere before that timeline. This guy had a CB beam antenna, and they told him. But in my area, I checked around, I looked at it. There's no regulations in that area of Pleasant, that area in Utah I lived in. There's nothing, no height, no restrictions on antennas in that area. I checked it all out. They haven't updated anything since the 1987, around like from the early 90s. Yeah, when they look on their site and all that crap, well, they can put antennas in that area no matter what. I've seen towers in the area. They have beam antennas right down several blocks down the road when I walked around. And I talked to a local ham operator. When he was standing outside, walking by him, I was asking him if he was a local hammer. He was like a 2-meter type guy. And I told him the radios I had. He was in one of those nice fancy houses, like a few years older. But he was cool, but he didn't show me his equipment. But I told him the kind of radio he had. He said those were one of the good radios you have. He was a ham radio operator, but you guys can look up all those ham radio operators in my area where I used to live in Utah. Yeah, there's several of them in that area. But they're mostly all Mormons, but they are ham operators too. But I actually got that one, that that Kenwood I have, the TS520. I got it from a Mormon guy, but his son was in the Navy in South Carolina. So he was an 60-year-old man, almost 80 years old. he gave him to me for a discount. And the only thing I have to do is fix the microphone. I would love to get it modified from 11 meters to Kenwood. I would love to. But it has one part 11 meter band. You got to tune it way down on the knob. It only does 2 11 meter channels. That's the only thing it does. But I'd love to get it modified 11 meters to transmit. There's got to be someone who can pull this off. But I'm going to tell you, you got to understand. You got to get these kids out of the TikTok world and get into these things. Show them a lot of creativity. Yeah, there's a lot of creativity besides radios and stuff, but you got to get it in something really good field. You got to do this right now. I know TikTok's fun, all that stuff, but you got to tell them about the real video game world. But video games are fun, but I know they're good at technology and stuff. Maybe they'll get in the field that way. I'm not against that, big gamers, but they need to learn about self-do things, how to prepare electronics, how they do it. Let them mess with a bunch of Xbox 360s, modify them, put retro games in. They can do solder chips that way too. But how I did my solder, I have a drone too. I have one of those DJI Phantom drones. I run it once in a while when I do little test runs. But I haven't ran on a camera on the system for a while, for a long time. But I have ones that can fly up. And I have practiced with no cameras on it, no problem. No, with no phone on it. You can do it without a phone. But you can get like a little thing that goes in the remote control for the DJI Phantom Advance. And you could actually get up to your TV screen to it. That's what you can do. And you don't need all this stuff on it. I know about that. So I'm glad we're going to be rocking it on the air. We got to let this dry for a couple hours. I know what it says, what you got to do. I've touched the stuff. Silicone has been a lot of things my dad used to do when he lived in South Florida. He used to show a lot of things silicone. And he had the ones that can actually told me some stuff can last about 20 years on silicone. Because he used to work in the telephone company a long time ago. And he used to do a lot of silicone when you repair phone wires. That's what he used to do. And some of those coaxes I've touched, one of those things, when he helped at a friend's house once, when I lived in North Florida, in the city areas. And he showed this wire, he had this coax wire. It was like hooking up DSL. It had like silicone inside of it. They do. So you guys can take a look at this stuff here. So it'll be cured about 24 hours. It's not going to affect, and water exposure is about 30 minutes. So it'll be sealed in 30 minutes. And odor does not have none. Mineral spirits, what's that is. That's the cleanup. Self-shelf under the manufacture date. Excellent for 24 months. It doesn't matter. And 30-year it can last 30 years, guys. Look at that. 30-year study. Excellent. It can last 30 years up there. I don't have to worry about it. But they said it's a 10-year system we can seal. But if we got it sealed in there, we're okay. We'll do more of this stuff. There's no metals in this stuff. It's actually clear water. Most of the silicone's all water. It's not going to affect the beam antenna. You need this in case something happens. You guys got to think about this. I'm telling you. What happens if they run out of stuff for caps and stuff and you can't get them at the store and you have to do this kind of backup because this is better than nothing you can do. So I'm glad this is going to do good. And we'll have to clean all this off. And then as caps come off, we'll do this more of this stuff. I got to keep this paint pole, no problem. It's 12 foot. It has been around for a long time. I think since 2022. So we're going to be on the air soon to check the SWRs for a couple minutes. I'm going to do it right now and see what it looks like. I'm going to fire the navigator. I'm going to look at it before I do anything. So the silicone be okay. So I'll catch you guys later. We'll pause this video and show you the SWR results in a few minutes. I made the knob. So I don't touch this knob. This is pretty perfect. The same knob is for the transmitter. The transmitter is the same. So we haven't tried that yet, but it'd be okay. So I put it down to tune. I had adjusted a while ago. I pointed at 310 degrees. That'd be good. The SWR changes when you move the antenna around. That's what it does. So I pointed at Jungle Joe's house. So we're good. So you guys give you a zoom. I'm going to zoom this down to dark color mode. So you guys will see the results. This is channel 20. I'm going to go down here for a minute. I'm looking at right now. We're looking at the SWRs. This is actually with the coax, with the seal we're on right now, with the silicone. So that's channel that's 1.39 on channel 1. I don't care going down that channel. I think that's around channel 1's usually somewhere around a 1 up from 26. 940, but We don't go down channel 1 a lot, but this is channel 1 right here. At 1.26, it's okay. 1.29, 1.26, we're okay in the 1.2s. 1.27, this is actually 27. It's very close to it. 1.24, 1.22, that's channel 6 almost. This is this one's pretty good. This is look good at channel 60. I think that's usually one of those areas. What's that channel? That's channel 80. That's 8. Yeah, it's actually the old 2 radio network channel. That is careful. But that's 60, but that's usually 80 right there. That's usually channel 11, but I'd be able to get out on AM. I'm going to leave it just like that on 310 degrees, but when you move it, it'll change the SWR in a couple minutes. You'll see what I'm going to show you in a minute. But it's looking good. I had to adjust the knob, but I'm going to write that down later. I had wrote it between there a while back on my manual with this. But I'll show you the guys what it looks like if you ever get one of these on a serial antenna. It's looking good on channel 100. That's probably channel 10 or somewhere. It's looking all good across the 27 megahertz band. The Mako will get out more, but this is pretty good. That's probably channel 14, I don't know. This is channel 160. We don't know what that is. But it'll be able to get all the bands. That's channel 180. I think that's channel. That's the truck driver's channel right there. You guys saw that 1.19, 1.10. I think that's what it is. See, it's looking good. So I didn't touch the transmitter. I touched the antenna when I adjusted. So it should have less reflect power when you do this. So it was actually 1.3 when it was when I turned it on a while ago. When I turned on this about a few seconds ago, and I had to adjust the antenna on the tuner to get it down to per results. Sometimes you have to do that. It's high because of the snow, but we'll have to look at it later. But I adjusted that time. It shouldn't affect it that much at all. And we'll be able to see the results later. And this is channel 20. I adjusted this tuner a while ago. I just did this when I put the silicone on it. So it's looking good. So this tuner adjusts everything. As long as you don't blow it 300 watts on this thing, it'll be fine at 200 watts of this thing. So it's looking at 220. That's above channel 22, channel 24. Looking at 109. That's the guys on the Smoky Mountains. But it'll work on AM sideband. But that was actually channel 26. This is 28 here. Looking good at channel 28. You guys can see that. That's close to channel 30. So it's going to look good on this channel. This is where we're going to be doing all our sideband contacts on the beam. And it'll be fun for the export radio because the Quad 5 will be able to see it better because that thing is very accurate. The Quad 5 is your best radio in the whole wide world of your SWR. It is very accurate. You can always adjust it with the SWR on it. I'm telling you, Jet has a Quad 5. It's pretty really accurate on the Quad 5 for the SWR. It will show you that. And I've done it before with it. Channel 32 is looking good. Look at that, guys. That's 34. That's almost near 35. That's the Australian channel. 108. Look at that. The SWRs are looking beautiful on channel 36. These were going to hang out 36, 37, 38. They're looking good. This is actually channel, I think, 36, 38. That's 38,800, but it's usually pretty close. It's going to be the same. 1.09. Look at that. Channel 40 is looking beautiful on that one. So that's when we're going to be up in the 405s and all that. 42, that's one of our channels that we can get close to. 110 is looking good. Look at that. Beautiful SDR. This is what I want to adjust up these areas. We hang up a little up in these areas because most people are not going to go down to channel 1 and hang out. Well, so yeah, channel 1 can still be good on a lot. It won't affect the Randy. It won't affect the Cobra. Looking good at 110. That's not bad. But when the thing moves around, you guys will see the different results. And that's 460. That's channel 46. Looking good on 46. I think that's 48. That's on the Jamaican channels. The 50 is looking beautiful. It goes up a little bit, but 52 is looking good on Jamaica. That's close to the triple nickel, so it's going to be perfect on the triple nickel on 113. We'll have to check this later until it gets better on the weather. That's channel 56. That's closer to that area. I don't know what that is. You guys can see that. That's 560. That's 600 channel. We can get up those areas. That's for freeband. 62, looking good, guys. Looking beautiful. We can get up those channels we want. 64, looking good. These are the free bands I want to hang out. And this is looking at 66. That's 68. 70, look at that, guys. 1.2. We can go up there and talk to Jungle Joe on this channel. We have our Anytone, Quad 5. We got a beautiful rated and made. 7200s. And I'm looking at that right now. Look at that. And I got the videos going right now. 74 is looking beautiful. These are the free bands. These are the ones I'm going to get up here to hide away from all the cloud noise. We'll have to check in a couple weeks how it does. But it changes after during the summer, I know. Because the snow actually did this day. I had snow on it right now. I moved the antenna around. There's no snow on it right now. That's channel 76. That's channel 80. Then it's going to get to 82, 84, 86. This is pretty close to my Kenwood channel here. Looking good. And we don't go, 900's looking beautiful on that. So you guys looking okay. Let's go back to our perfect channel. I'm going to change the antenna around in a minute. We're going to go back to 180. So it doesn't matter. I'm going to pause this for the video for a minute. Well, guys, we'll see what the antenna is going to move. Let's do it live on video for a second. I'm going to push the button. I'm going to go to number C. I'll show you guys that silicone I'm using. I'm going to go out there and get that ladder later, but we're going to go back here. You guys are going to see the SWR result when it changes. I'm going to go look at it for a second. I don't know what channel C is. It could be 90 degrees east. It does make a difference, but 180 is actually B, and we're going to check different ones for a second. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but it should be okay once I did this. That was pointing toward 310 to the northwest corner, so it's not going to mess up after the SWR does. It does. I figured that out. So that's due east. That's toward Bermuda, probably the UK. Let's take a look at it right now. You guys saw the difference. It dropped down to 105. You guys see it? Let's look at it. You guys saw the meters would look different. This is channel 1. What channel is this? This is actually channel 180. This is the truck driver's channel. It doesn't look any much difference. You see that dip where it goes? We're pretty perfect on all levels. It might go higher. This is due 90 degrees east. Let's go back to our 38 channel. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to go look at 38 for a second. It's looking pretty good on this channel. See? It drops pretty good when you get away from the trees. But 108 is looking good on channel 54. Oh my god, that's the triple nickel. Triple nickel's looking beautiful. You guys can see it. I don't like it too close on that. I gotta adjust that brightness, get it down. So it's looking good on that channel. 108. I gotta get this out of zoom mode. There we go. And I gotta get this brightness down. But no big deal. You guys can see the results. Hold on a second. That's what I want. That's what you guys need. One of these devices. Promise me get one of these, okay? It's going to save your life on this thing. That's channel 54. That's the triple nickel. Look at this. Gotta be careful not to break this knob. But I know it looks crazy, but this thing is going to be awesome. Every time when the cap falls out, when they get birds out of these things. 104. This is my channel. This is where we're going to get the UK a lot. It's going to look okay. I'm not going to look at it all directions today. 36 is looking good, guys. Look at that. That's going to be our Australian channels. I'm going to look at 34 and 38. 40's looking good, guys. You guys see that. We're going to change it in a second. I'll be right back. I'm going to go to 180. So I'm happy about this, guys. But I had to tune this. It could have been the snowstorms. It's not going to hurt it. It's not going to hurt that much. But the meter will show it on that thing when it shows. It's not going to fry anything. We'll have to check every 6 months for SWR results. But I pulled this out of my back of my Cobra. So it's still hooking up all the amplifiers and everything to it. So I pulled it out of my Cobra today. But I got that beautiful power supply. So let's take a look. But we had like, I'll tell you guys, we had like 4 inches of snow today. I think 3. So you guys understand. We're not going to be out here for a while until this stuff melts. But they did salt the road better than the last time. So no difference, 109. We're pointing at 180 degrees south on channel 3. This is looking good. So it does not change a little quite a bit. Only in the clear areas. That's the one, the clear areas I'm pointing. So I'm going to point it back to, let's get the Australian channel. I'm going to go right there. Well, I'll show you guys in a second. I'm going to see what we get. Australia's usually 250 degrees west, but it's going to be okay. It's not going to make any difference because you got trees that block areas. That happens. But I'm going to go to around 270. Let's take a look at 270. But that's going to be close to Hawaiian Islands. Okay, make sure we have results. This is my cheat chart I have here. But we had to adjust that thing today. I only get it done. Let's go look at that thing I want. So nobody doesn't need to put their addresses on there. We need to keep it all secret for ourselves. But Andy gave me that nice walkie-talkie. So it's still the same results, guys. It only does it when at 310 when it does. I moved the antenna around, but it needs to warm up. It's not breaking the rotor or nothing like that. It's not frozen on the ice. So this is channel 36 looking good. We're going to be making to Australia in no time with this tuner. I hadn't adjusted that tuner for a while. Because I hadn't touched it for ever since when I got it first up. That's what it was. So I had to mess around with it to get the perfect results. But this is what I need to write down the coordinates, guys. So we're looking good. I want to see if you guys get a picture of this. So we need to look at this results here. I'll try to turn the bright down. So if you ever get these antennas, they're all the same thing. Same results. So look at that result here. That's what you want on the sirioSY27 beam antenna. The stupid brightness, I got to turn it down. I don't want that brightness. I'm going to try to adjust it down so you guys, this is what gave me an idea. I can see my best result. Right, somewhere between 0. Looks almost like between 0 and almost close to 1. The other part was above 1 when I had the last time when I had it. We have to check it every 6 months to see what happens. This transmitter is the same. I have not touched that at all. And that Nana is the best cool device. I want people to get the Nana VA. Promise me to get one of these things. You just, when you do one of these, just plug it in the transmitter. Don't transmit on this thing and don't fry this device. And I have fried one, but it still works, but it'll mess it all up. So the SWRs are looking perfect. So we'll be able to try out some videos for a test out for a couple minutes. See if we get anything on the beam. So we're looking good. So I'll catch you all guys later. Thanks for bringing this video out today. This is 362 East Tennessee. And I just wanted to give you a tip out there. Any cereal owners out there, if you can't get a cap in your own country or anything in the world, get some of that silicone stuff, buy some of that stuff, and just get a butter knife. Just use a 12-foot painting pole. I had to use an 8-foot ladder to get up there. I'm usually 5 foot tall, and I'll do it every time one of these caps fall off. It doesn't matter. You can always do that, but it's better than taking that antenna down. I'm not going to do that until the rotor goes bad or if the coax needs change. And I don't have to worry about that for 10 years with that, but they say it can last 30. And the birds are not going to eat this stuff. This stuff is I have for a while, but I wanted to have one last 15 years with it, but well, 10 years is good. So we're going to show you the antenna tuner. This is a beautiful tuner, and as long as the tuner works, that's what it counts. It doesn't matter. But this thing has a light in the SWR. I had the plug for this guy. I do have a plug for it. Yes, I do have a plug. It lights up pretty good. It works fine. Haven't touched anything in it. The only time I did this tuner, I'll tell you guys about it. Let me get my head out of that way. I'll tell you about this. The only thing, you know, like Wagon Master, he has a tuner just like a similar one. And I had to fix a bolt inside it one time. It was not on the main thing. And that's the only thing I had to do. I tightened it in there, did all that stuff. It was actually done that in the shipping what happened. So that was back several months ago when I got this thing. I had to fix a nut inside this thing, and I tightened it up pretty good. But Wagon Master has several of these tuners. They're great. And you should get one of these tuners, okay, for your beam antennas. And I'll tell you, 2112 out there on YouTube, I'm glad we talked about that last time. If you get a beam antenna, I want you to promise to get one of these and get some silicone to seal those little holes you don't have to worry about birds getting that stuff. They're not going to eat silicone because they will die from that stuff and be toxic. You can't eat that stuff. The birds are not going to mess with it. Now, I have birds on it before, on silicone before, but let me tell you, it's good for 10 years for the silicone, but it can last at least 30 years for UVA protection. And if it's that kind of thing, it's going to last long. I sealed it. I had to did that when I did it. I slide it up with a butter knife, and I had a lot of stuff laying around. I don't want to do that stuff to worry about. The only thing you have to worry about, you can throw an extra silicone on top of it later on. If that stuff wears out in 10 years, you can throw the same state over again. That's all you have to do. But long you don't touch the Gavin match, that's the only thing I don't want anybody to do. As long as you don't put silicone on the Gavin match, that is the number one thing, important thing. But the SWRs will change if you don't. You can tune your antenna and stuff. This is all include hooking up to the amplifier. So that's why I had to tune this thing for the amplifier. It's going to be beautiful with this already. This is hooked up to the amp with the SWR right now. And I had to tune it very perfect. And the coax is all RGA 58s. And except 1213 on that. Because I had to move the coax a couple weeks ago. We're going to change it all 213 once it happens for this beam. And put it in here and run all that stuff later on. We're going to be okay, guys. So we're going to be trying this out today. See how we're going to go. And I'll catch you guys later. So we just gave the result for the serial owners out there. I want you guys to try this when you get some time. And promise, get one of these tuners. And this company went out of business. But I would love to have more of these tuners for backups in case. But find one of these. These are good. They're a little bit better quality. And this guy told me the notes here. You guys see the notes here. I'll show you what it was, the results. I'll show you guys. You want to read this, right? Hold on a second. But I actually had to put that little ground thing in the back of it. And I plug it in that little bounce thing in the back. I'm not going to pull it back. I'm going to do it. You guys seen it? So that's what you do. This is what I love, this thing. So that I actually played with this stuff before. And I had the band. It will do any band you want. Okay? That's what I like about this. It's not for CB. It could do it could do hammy hams. It could do CB. I can even plug this in my kid would be fine with this guy. It would be awesome on that. Look what Highlander 498 did. He was on 11 meters with an 11 meter antenna, and he got 40 meters with it on a on one of those penetrator type antennas. Look, I can make it be 5,000. He got almost every band in the system when you heard it. That's amazing. And I think they can do almost everything on a beam. But the beam can go all the way to 30 megahertz. It can. But this thing is beautiful. And that's why I went with non-digital tuners, because those things are going to be fried more than this. If we have an EMP one day, this thing will not get fried, I promise. And what I got to do now is I got to get that alpha delta type thing that goes in the ground. And I need to get that antenna ground. But as long as I keep the antenna disconnected during thunderstorms, that's what I'm worried about. And I want to get this microphone fixed, the D104. So I wanted that thing fixed because I want to get that $22 element that goes into it. You guys seen it on eBay? I wanted to get that so I can actually solder that piece, use the hi-fi. I don't have to worry about it. As long as I can hook a battery to it and use the knobs. I'm not going to tear the whole thing out. I just want to get, I need an element on one of those D104s. And what happened, because I bought it back 3 years ago, and some guy had it sitting there. It was actually from a consignment shop up in Pennsylvania. That's how I got it. And the D104 did fine until it gave up on. It does transmit. The only problem, it needs an element. And I need to get one of those $22 high element. This guy in New York makes them. And it has a hi-fi type noise, but it doesn't burn out the element. Once you put it in there, you don't have to replace it for a long time. But the Turner Plus is going to be great. So we're going to be testing this out today. And I just want to get that result for the serial owners out there. So we have a technique for you serial people out there. In case you don't need to trim your antenna, get some silicone like the stuff there. This stuff is not toxic. It will not hurt your antenna. And you just have to tune it with your tuner. And long you got that going. This is in snowstorms right now. And I had to tune it. But we'll check it later with the SWR. But this SWR is perfect on all levels, okay? It's looking good. So you serial SY27 owners and serial SY27 S3 owners, 3element owners, I want you guys to try this in case the company stop making serial antennas in the future. But as long as you don't break the antenna, you're okay. But this company needs to get better. They should actually told us put silicone on the tips and it'd be okay. But I don't think any birds are going to get it for a while. But for you serial owners out there, I put this out there on their group, and I want you guys to learn something from it. But this is a beautiful tuner, and I want you guys to learn how to do it. So I'm going to shout out to all the serial beam antenna owners in YouTube land, and whoever can see this video. Please take my advice, tip, and also Mower Junkie will learn this from my technique. He needs to do this kind of stuff for his beam antenna. If there are things like pencil-shaped type elements inside, don't put it on the gamma match. Promise me, don't put any silicone on your gamma match, so you'll be okay. So we're going to shout out to all the guys out there. So check out our UDXCBRadioClub.com out there for you beam antenna owners all over the world. If you're on 11 meters, you can check this out. It's CB Lounge 2112. And there's going to be a guy coming on tonight at 8 o'clock tonight Eastern Time. We're over here in Tennessee. This is Uncle Freddie Shot Will. He'll get you a shout out to you. You can talk to him anytime you want. Hold on a second. Yeah, there's your Uncle Freddie shout out Will. I hope you guys can see him. So don't forget to check him out. He'll get, if you get into the shout out Will, when you draw out the last thing, you'll win a bunch of stickers from him. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to shout out to JT. So he does beam antennas too and all kinds. The guy's cool, but keep it cool and simple. So don't forget to check out Old Radio Night comes on tonight for all you serial beam antenna owners out there. So I gave the results out here. And also, I want Dennis to see this video, see what I did. I think he should give me a thumbs up and give me a comment. And I know Dennis Tower Power. I had to do this to make it last for a while. And if we don't need to put caps on these things, we could do silicone. It's not going to hurt it. And we're not going to run megawatts like a trillion watts. It's not going to fry it. Because if you run like 300 watts between 200, you're okay. So if you want to put 500 watts, it's not going to affect the silicone. So we had to do this. So once it stays in there, it stays in there. That's what I need to do. So don't forget to check out Old 2 Radio Network comes on tonight. So I'll get that out to all the serial owners out there, the serial beam antenna owners that have this antenna, that has this model. So I'm going to get that out to those guys out there, and all our UDX members saw this video today. So this was the sirioSY27, putting a silicone, I'll put that, sealing the caps without no caps and stuff like that. So you don't need caps on these things. Just get some silicone. Make sure you look at it. Get some pretty good. It's stuff like you go get in your hardware store and your Wally World. And this stuff goes on your cabinets and wall. As long as it's clear, it'll be okay. No white woody stuff. You want that kind of silicone that lasts long. So I'm going to stack up some more of that stuff later on. So we can use this for stuff like that. And as long as it's not dry in that thing, it's good. It doesn't expire. It doesn't do anything. So it'd be quite cool. So don't forget to check out Bozo Control comes on tonight, the Old 2 Radio Network. And if anybody has a beam antenna, please do the same thing like I did. Okay? Get some of that silicone stuff. The stuff like you get at like $9 to $10 and stuff. And the price is going to go down. And I'll love to see that stuff go down for $1. And I'll start stacking some of that stuff. But probably to use some of my stuff in my sealing off the stuff either way. It actually keeps ants out of it. It has sealed, when it sealed out of my stuff in the kitchen back when I did that. It did help some of it. But it usually works. But I'll tell you guys, don't forget to check out Old 2 Radio Network coming on tonight at 11 o'clock p.m. So Dennis will see this video out here. And I just want to tell Dennis, if you have some kind of problem that on your beam, on your serial, on your star adjuster, try a 9-tip with this, and you'll be okay. But it's only for beam antennas. I think this would be great. And long as you got a perfect tuner, we're okay. So I'll catch you guys later. We'll bring out some more videos. I'm going to test out this thing. We'll talk to the guys out there later today. Maybe I'll do that. Have fun. And I think this is the last of the snowstorm for a while. It's just all cloudy and nasty out there today. But you guys saw that video. But I'm happy. I don't have to take this antenna down. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Only thing that will come down when if the rotor goes bad and needs oil and greasing and stuff. Or when I need to change out the coil. As long as I put that cool grease in there, you guys saw that stuff, the green stuff, it'll last a long time. But I'm going to let you guys go. Have a great day. And don't forget to check out our CB Radio, UDXCBRadio.com. check out 390's Wagmaster channel. And if you want a UDX number, email him and see if it's edible for you, and he'll send you a bunch of stickers and stuff, and you'll be part of the club. And mostly, no discontent on that on our channels and stuff out there. When we talk, be polite to the guys out there in DX land on all 27 megahertz bands. Be respectful, be cool with it, and long you guys get along good, we're okay. Thanks for this video, and I'm going to be having fun with this Randy all week because I'm going to Andy. So I used the Andy gloves today when I was working on the silicone today when I went out there to grab it on the pole, the painter pole. So that was a 12-foot painter pole that I did. And stepping on that ladder up there, that was one from Harbor Freight. It's my mother's, but that one I used on my Mako 5000 a couple weeks ago. So we're going to be rock and roll this summer. We'll have to check it for a while. If any of those caps come off, a bird takes it again, I'll just do the silicone route like I did and take it easy with it. That's why I had to went light and stuff like that. And that's what I had to do. So nothing hit the antenna or damage it. It touches a little bit, just like a touch, and all you just need that sway. My dad used to teach me some stuff with silicone a long time ago when I was 17 years old, when we worked at side jobs in South Florida at people's houses and stuff like that. We did tree trimming stuff. My dad worked for a telephone company and all that, but he did a lot of that stuff with me when I was young, when I was in homeschool days. He used to show me a lot of silicones, even on the farm, stuff like that. And he sealed things up like tree houses with it and bolts and stuff. He did a lot of things like that. So I'm going to get you guys go. So don't forget to check out this club out here. We're part of the United Delta X-Ray C Radio Club. And I'll shout out to Uncle Freddy today. So we're back up to 95% again. And we'll probably be back on here in a couple minutes to try out the results. The silicone shouldn't affect it at all. As long as you don't put, like I told you guys. Thanks for enjoying this video today. So this is for all those beam antenna owners out there. Sirio, who it is, anything has caps like that, try my technique and do what you got to do. And we show you the video today. I know it's a long video. And get it out there to those guys out there. So this is UDX362, Foxman 362, World Radio on YouTube. Catch y'all later. And we should show you all the SWR results and all that stuff. And nothing's going to affect it for a while. And we'll check it a couple months and look at it again. So I promise you guys, get that Nano VA, get one of them, and promise get one, okay? It's going to save a lot of hassle. And you got to do the calibration. It's not hard to do. I show you guys how to do it on one of my previous videos. So I'll catch you later. Give us a thumbs like on the channel. Give us a little smile faces. Tell them, let me know if it did work for your beam antennas out there, for you serial owners and your Mako owners out there. Let me know if it works, okay? If you guys can't get caps in your country, in the world, as long as you can get that silicone stuff like I have, you'll be great for the rest of your life for it. As long as you get some of that stuff, and we're good. I don't mind you guys giving me likes out there. Give me good comments and let me know how it works. So, catch y'all later. And I'm going to be happy about this for a while. Let's go have some fun for a while. I'll catch y'all later. Thanks for viewing this video today. And I'm getting on out here. Foxman 362, East Tennessee. 79 smoke screen, shockwave. And aloha. The beam antenna's back on the air again. And don't let the birds get to you, okay? Let them birds go and have their little fun. But yeah, I'm sorry about the cap was ruined by a bird. It's going to happen again. Then we'll have to do the silicone route like it all happens. So catch y'all later. 362 East Tennessee. Smacking it on down. And I'll bring out more videos soon. Antenna's working, guys. I talked to UDX357 a while ago. He was at 9 pounds at 310 degrees. I'm at 290 right now.
I was able to work from home, and man, I'm telling you what, lady goes to the bathroom in the toilet stall, you know, thinks somebody's gonna get her and finds out it's some guy that's supposedly that's the kind of crap that people thought, oh, you know, it's gonna be no big deal, you know, it's American government, everything will American.
CQDX, calling CQDX 362, 362 Knoxville, Tennessee, trying. I hear that 1-1 guy out there, but he sounds very distant. But how's my radio getting out there to Tennessee today from your guys out there? 362 Knoxville, Tennessee, trying out this Cobra 139 now. I want to know, is this radio working? Let me know. 362 Knoxville, Tennessee. I just had to seal my third element beam with a silicone today, but at least it's getting out with the good perfect SWR. I had to tune it today, but at least it's looking great on this radio.
362 Manchester, San Francisco, sounding good. 242 said that.
Hey, 42 out there San Francisco. Sounding good at 30 pounds out there. You guys are blowing over the 1-1 guy, but you guys are walking over him right now. 362 Knoxville, Tennessee. Wave it on back.
362, yeah, what a waste of time, what a waste of equipment. If I had something to say, I'd say it. If all I had to say was one, I would probably hang up my microphone. All right, 362, 308, 242 back out.
All right, 308. Have a good day. At least this radio's working with a Cobra 139 turning +2. sirioSY27 4-element beam. I had a seal with a silicone today on the third element because one of my birds took the cap off a couple weeks ago. I didn't notice that, but at least I found a solution now. You'll be able to see a video on that a little later, but at least it's getting out 150 whiskeys, 100, but it's probably doing 200 right now, but at least this radio's working good out there today.
God bless the next person. You know, I can't wait for January. I want a new president. I want somebody in there that's going to think about all Americans. That would be wonderful.
All right, I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for the radio check out on this channel. 362 Knoxville, Tennessee. Have a good day.